Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with an exciting and very hot topic here, being the baby versus big boy apocalypse investment for Dark Dimension 6. So in my past videos, I have made an impact in terms of, what the true cost of it is to your account. If you guys are interested in checking that out, I'll definitely link it below. But for this video, we are going to be more so looking at the true impact of how Apocalypse plays with his upgrade respectively in Dark Dimension 6. I want to showcase for you guys in terms of his net true impact, but as well, at the end of the day, what's going to be best for your account when we go through some of the analysis and review here. So we got a lot of great information here that I'm very, very excited to talk about. So first and foremost, guys, at the end of the day, the purpose of this is really identifying, what is the true impact of the big boy versus baby apocalypse investment in Dark Dimension 6. And this would not be possible, honestly, without an amazing group of content creators, some of the most competitive players in the game, the best of the best, and they've been able to make their resources available on YouTube as well. So that's how we are able to retrieve a lot of this information, so you guys can get that for reference. But now, got some concrete data to actually take a look and analyze and see, at the end of the day, how is this going to translate to the progress that you can potentially be making in Dark Dimension. But as well, guys, I think at the end of the day, the key takeaway is really sharing insight, ultimately maximizing value for your account, right? How is this going to help your account goals and priorities? This is not a debate on, the big versus baby boy apocalypse, what you should or shouldn't be doing. I think it's just bringing together really collectively the data that's available based on what has been accomplished, right, from these multiple content creators, including myself, and yeah, providing that information for your guys' reference. So at the end of the day, hopefully that assists you in making the best decision for your account and helping you grow the way you want your account to grow. And that's really the true underlying goal, guys. If there's anything to take away, I hope this is able to at least share some insight that you may not have known prior to watching a video. And that's what it's really all about, sharing this information. So enough of the fluff there, guys. I want to get into the nitty-gritty details of my analysis and how this came to be, right? First and foremost, huge shout out to all the amazing content creators. What we've done is we've populated, actually, these are the total node attempts respectively for the entry rate section, and then as well on the right is the global section, right? And as you can see here, what we've actually taken down is the individual attempts and attacks it's taken to actually complete the node. And I didn't put the names here because I wanted to showcase for you guys and walk you through the legend, right? Any of the white numbers you see are attempts with baby apocalypse. Any of the green numbers highlighted are big boy apocalypse upgraded for those attempts. And then lastly, if there's any attempts here that's in red, it basically means no apocalypse was actually utilized. So as you can see, guys, that first row there, I'll just walk you through it. Any traits, nodes 1 and 2, respectively, then took 3 attacks and then 4. And then for the global section, nodes 3, 4, and 5, it took 6, 13, and then 11 attacks to clear that section there. So I'm sure you guys may have guessed it already, but the only one that actually utilized baby apocalypse for all the nodes actually is myself. So let me show you now the content creators. And again, huge shout out to each and every one of them. I'm going to link each of their channel in the description below if you guys want to check out their videos. But there's some really meaningful information here. But as well, remember, guys, at the end of the day, I just wanted to bring this data for you so that way you can visually see what is the impact of having, an upgraded apocalypse and what is the expected attacks that you can likely see, right? At the end of the day, this is what's going to be meaningful to you, and that way you can get a sense of how powerful this upgrade could be. What I've also done is, I think, the any traits was interesting because I can only pull some information. Not everyone documented it, as you can see, but I think the one that stands out, obviously, is a Darktick's attempt with nodes 1 and nodes 2, right? When you don't have Apocalypse, it cost him 9 attacks and 6 attacks respectively, which is much higher than if you had even Apocalypse in baby form. So that is really good information right there. But as well, what I've done on the right now is I've totaled all of the global attacks here, and respectively down, 2 standouts, right? Boilon and Darktick, amazing guys. You can see they definitely were able to streamline and be more efficient with their attacks. So definitely check their videos out to see how they did it or which team synergies, because that's kind of the big X factor here, right? All these different content creators, including myself, we all use different varieties of teams. So that's why it's such an amazing way to see this data and see at the end of the day, how much was the true impact of the big boy apocalypse. Now, having said that, guys, one big caveat is I haven't done the legendary section yet. I am still waiting in my gear, but I'm definitely going to be planning to make a part 2 video for this, so that way you guys can get a good holistic view. But having said that, this is everything for the any traits in global, which ideally should cover most of the content for the time being as you guys are pushing your roster. But yeah, it's really impressive, guys. As you can see there, really, it's the global section that really benefits from having a big apocalypse, right? And as you can see, what I've done is outside of the outliers like Darktick, taking only 8 total attacks in his global section. So amazing team that he utilized. The average global attacks were actually 23 in total. When you compare the 23 attacks to my 30 using Baby Apocalypse, that's about a span of a week, right? That's a week of time saved in attacks, assuming you're only doing 1 attack per day without doing power core. So something to keep in your mind if you are planning to go forward with the big boy upgrade. That is what you're going to be potentially saving, right? All the gear, materials, and investment. You're essentially, saving about a week of Dark Dimension 6 attempts for respectively the global section. Heck, even if you look at the nodes 3, 4, 5 respectively, it's impressive. But there were actually times where my Baby Apocalypse was actually quite comparable to Big Apocalypse. So for example, me taking 6 attacks on nodes 3, Dorky Dad took 5, and then Pathfinder also took 5. So just something to keep in the back of your mind is that you may not be seeing that true impact translate until the later nodes. We see respectively the biggest jump being my last attack, being nodes 5 there, taking 11 attacks, whereas everybody with Big Apocalypse, that took less than 10. So definitely some efficiencies there that you can utilize. And then other aspects, like even with my nodes 4 where I took 13, LVP took longer, Dorky Dad was also 12. So I mean, there were some times where the Big Apocalypse wasn't as visible, and that's kind of why I really enjoy and appreciate this analysis, because I don't think it's enough to say, hey, build big Apocalypse, that's all you need for global. That's just not true. At the end of the day, the team also matters, and that's kind of why I love having his data to give us that solid proof that, at the end of the day, it's not just one character. It's also, you as a competitor, as the player himself, managing the waves, but lastly, also the dynamic and the synergy of the team that you bring in. And that's really the big takeaway here, is the team matters just as much as the Big Apocalypse investment if you guys are looking to capture efficiency. So, takeaways. Really good data. Under the any traits, nodes 1 and 2 are awful without Apocalypse in any shape, way, or form. So make sure you guys have Apocalypse, even in baby form for nodes 1 and 2, because it does look like it can take quite a bit longer if you don't have them. As for that, big versus baby Apocalypse is not a big difference in the first 2 nodes. So for that reason specifically, if you guys are waiting to unlock Big Apocalypse just to do nodes 1 and 2, may not be worth it, just because at the end of the day, as we saw from that data, it doesn't really truly matter. A global section is where you're going to notice it, right? But again, I want to point out, it took about an average of 23 average attacks from multiple content creators versus my 30. That is, again, you're saving about a week. That's all the upgrades for all 4 Legendary Horseman teams, plus the 3 strike characters to Gear Tier 17 as well, the T2 ISO Blue 5. Can you do that? Can you farm all that within a week? I don't know. In my honest opinion, I still, stand by my decision because of the fact that I would still not be as far as I am right now in Dark Dimension 6 if I made the Big Apocalypse investment. So I'm still quite happy with what I've done, but seeing this data really makes me feel better because I can understand now, what is that net true impact. And again, I'm not arguing for or against, because I think you have to do what's best for your account. If I had the resources and materials, 100% I would have upgraded my Big Apocalypse, but I did the math in terms of resources. It didn't make sense because I wanted to make continual progress every day in Dark Dimension 6, and now I'm waiting in my legendary section, which is ideally where I want it to be. Also, like I said as well, Big Apocalypse appears to save about a week or maybe 2 weeks of attempts. It really just depends at the end of the day what team synergy you also have. So, that's a really important point to highlight here from the information that we have now, is that, Big Apocalypse is important, but having a good team around Apocalypse is just as important. So definitely huge to consider. Make sure you're not just throwing random characters. Everybody does make sense in the grand scheme, whether it's the synergy with the abilities, whether it's the traits that they have each other. So that way it does pave dividends along the way when you're, trending towards cosmic and city sections, right? Now, again, I plan to make a update video and follow up to this for the legendary notes, because I will be planning to use my baby Apocalypse as well, and I'm very eager to see how he's going to be doing. Again, I want to get that net true impact before I do make that decision to fully upgrade him. And lastly, guys, for your takeaway as well, just consider your resources and game mode priorities, right? Dark Dimension, super fun. Absolutely loved it every single day when I can get these attempts and see that progress grow. But, you know, these are not the only game modes that matter in your account. Raids and Arena definitely are up there, and then as well War and Cosmic Crucible, if that's something that interests you in your game. And at the end of the day, you know, that's going to be something that happens, you know, weekly, right? As opposed to, you know, Dark Dimension being one and done and being attempted twice. That's it with the resources. And at the end of the day, once you unlock Super Scroll, well, that's it until the next Dark Dimension, right? So just food for thought, guys. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this information. Hopefully you enjoyed the summary. I love compiling this information to help us point us in the right direction. But some really good data here, and definitely kind of paints a picture of the true impact here. Hopefully this helps you guys decide as well. And again, guys, I'm all for it. I think do what's best for your account and resources. I do appreciate you guys, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if you agree or disagree. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.